Skippy!
At your service, ma'am.
How can this happen? How can this happen?
I don't know. If you want, I can play the role. I know how to do a good French accent.
Out of my way. Mrs. Burns, give me Martin. What are those?
Vitamine vitamin pills. Our new sponsor. I'm feeling fine with Vitamine.
Dolores, let me talk to Martin. Somebody stop that man. I am in no mood.
Boy, do I have a great joke.
Not in the mood, Schaefer. Not in the mood. Martin? Ellen, how can this happen? What do you mean, what do I mean? I'll tell you what I mean. I just got the scripts for tonight's episode. Oh, they're marvels of modern mystery. Just one problem. The second episode requires an actress who can do a French accent. No, I don't have an actress who can do a French accent. I'm lucky if any of these bozos can speak English. What am I going to do? Wait a minute. Is she available?
Hey, that's my line.
Well, she better be here in 10 minutes. We're almost on air. Skippy!
Yes, ma'am.
Martin sent the girl over to play the French dame. When she gets her, get her a script and get her prepped for the second episode. What are you doing?
Free samples. From Vitamine. You know, Vitamine, a carefully blended complex of vitamins A, B, B1, and niacin, are mined from Mother Nature to send relaxation cascading through the circulatory system. Remember, I'm feeling fine with Vitamine.
I should have never let you start doing commercials.
You know, there's a great role for me in this episode,
We already found someone to play the French broad.
No, I mean the police officer. It's a small role. It could be my big break.
You would have to drug me first. Let's get ready. Give me one of those.
So, they're bringing a little French actress, are they? Ooh la la, baby, ooh la la. I saw her first.
What? Oh, no, Fred, I'm not interested. I have a different dreamland in which to dance.
You don't say. Spill, Morty, spill.
I've just had a DATE with WSCC's own Jane Blaine.
Do tell, partner. DUETEELL?
No, I'm not one to betray an intimacy.
You dirty dog.
Do you have any idea how long I've been trying to get this girl's attention? Fred, she just... swell.
This mean I'll have no competition? French ladies have always been mine. But it is on thee.
No competition here, Fred. To be honest, I had a very bad experience with the French actress once, Fifi Latour. That girl was crazy. Made me make promises I'm glad I didn't have to keep.
You wouldn't still happen to have her number, would you?
No, that's one night I'd like to forget.
Never forget, right, old pal? La la. You silver-tongued devil.
Give me another one of those vitamins. I'm noticing a lift.
Aren't you guys taking too many of those things? I think you're supposed to be taking one a day.
No, you can take as much as you like. They're safe and gentle, so ask for them by name.
Get away from there. Have you heard anything from that French actress yet?
It doesn't necessarily say that she's French, just says that she can affect a French accent.
Of course she's French. Look at the name, Fifi Latour. I doubt she's from Brooklyn. What's your problem, Sparks?
Give me one of those things. I feel I'm gonna need it.
Do you have the song you're doing with Betty tonight? Is she still here? Have you seen Betty tonight? Where is she? Supreme silence. I should have known better than to try to have a conversation with you two. Skippy,
Yes, ma'am.
have you seen Betty?
doughboy was lost in action over France.
Nobody tells me anything.
Oh dear, I guess we thought you already knew.
I'll go talk to her. Have you seen Morty?
We're sorry, Jane.
Sorry, for what?
Oh, we're sure that Morty had nothing to do with it.
What happened?
I'm sure that rumor him and that French actress blew the whole affair way out of proportion.
After all, that was before you and he were, well, you know.
What kind of relationship did they have?
Oh, I don't know if I'd call it a...
No.
French girl?
You know how rumors.
I'm sure it's just...
French girl.
We should really get ready for tonight.
Whoa. Hey, ladies, want to hear a good joke?
He did it to me again. He did it to me again, didn't he?
Vitamin?
I have been far too gracious for far too long with that man. I get the script for this week's show as it is casting me in the role of the daughter-in-law man. I told him I didn't want to do battle axe roles anymore. Which one of you got that role, huh? Well, I've heard what they've said, that I'm getting too old to play the ingenue. Which one of you is spreading that one?
Oh, idle rumors. You can't believe it. Isn't it dreadful? You cannot believe anything anymore.
Must be painful.
I want to speak to our illustrious director, Miss Ellen Burns, and I want to speak to her now.
Well, at the moment, she's...
Now.
If you could just wait us.
Now.
Wouldn't you... Don't you... Would you like a vitamin? I mean, you feel fine with the vitamin.
I want to feel fine, Missy. I'll take one of these. My doctor prescribed one for my nerves.
Why don't you take one now?
Because I'm not nervous right now. And even if I was, I can't take more than one a day. I took 2 of these little monsters by accident one day. My jaw went numb. I kept humming and I couldn't stop singing Marys, Those, and Dozy Dogs. Can you imagine what that's like? I have to lay out a piece of paper like this in my medicine cabinet, make a weekly map of my dosages. One for Monday, one for Tuesday, one for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm not the kind of person who can keep track of things like this. I don't like it when things get out of control. You have no idea what it's like trying to settle down an irrational woman.
Well, hi there, Sil. See you guys.
I need another one of those vitamins. You know what? Never mind. I'll just take them all. Oh, I need to get a glass of water.
Something should probably be said.
When you tell her, gentle, she's already had a rough night.
Don't suppose either of you two would want to tell her? No, I guess not.
Fred, what am I going to do? I've just got things settled with Jane and with Fifi here. It'll just cause all kinds of problems. This is not going to be pretty.
Don't worry. Uncle Fred is here to take care of your problems.
What do you mean?
A little misdirection from the master.
Do you mean... Oh, God, there she is.
Your troubles are over, my friend. Watch this. Excusez-moi, mon frère. Hello, Fifi. I'm Fred.
Fred, Fifi.
Let me be frank, Fifi. You are the most beautiful woman I have ever seen. When you walked into the room, there was an electromagnetic pull from you to me, no?
No.
Oh, this one plays hard to get. Your blasé and different one drives me more wild.
What's this, KD? It is my big, beautiful boy. Oh, Marty, you don't know how happy it makes me to see you. So you decided not to go on that suicide mission of approachable after all? But this is too good to be true. Now you can buy this little plot of land in Iowa and settle down with a good little wife like you always wanted.
Miss Latour, we could go over your script for tonight.
You were supposed to get me out of this.
I'm wearing her down.
And what was that accent?
That was my Charles Boyer.
Charles Boyer? It sounded more like Pepe Le Pew. Be careful, they're going to come back to haunt you someday.
Say, you've got a little.
Since I'm not on until the second episode, I'll go to the green room and study my part. See you later, Morty.
Hi, Jane.
Morty, was that the new girl?
New girl? Well, I wouldn't know.
Fifi, is that her name?
Yeah. Fifi Latour, yeah. That's what it says right here.
Huh. Fifi.
I believe it's French.
No, don't know her.
I thought maybe you knew her. Greg liked like.
Boy, that was close. What does this mean?
I think it means hinky dinky parlay partner.
Are you okay, boss?
I'm feeling fine with Vitamine.
So sad.
So,
Let's just give it to the booth.
what are we gonna do?
Get everybody in here. You're gonna have to direct the show.
I'm ready to lick an eagle.
It's not an audition, Skipper. Just get everybody in here. What am I going to do about Fifi?
Well, I can give you a few pointers there, pal.
Is there something seriously wrong with you? I've got to square things with Jane, but I can't do that until Fifi knows the way things are.
Well, here they come. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the threshold of Hades.
All right, everybody, here's tonight's lineup. Richard gets us on the air with station identification and introduces Jane's first number. After the number, we go to the commercial spots, and after those, Richard gets us into the first episode, A Deadly Wager. That's Morty, Richard, Lois, Lana, and Fred. Everybody have their script for that? Oh, and it looks like there's a change in plans. I'll be playing the role as a police sergeant.
Police sergeant.
Last minute change. It's what the boss wanted.
Skipper.
After Deadly Wager, I'll do the PSA to get us to our first station break for the local news and weather. We'll come back for the commercial spots and Betty's number. And that leads us into the second episode, The Parakeets Vanish. Miss Fifi Latour will join the company in the role of Gigi Champlain. And, oh, look, there's a police officer role in this episode. The boss said I was supposed to take that one too.
Ellen will kill you.
And we're on air in 5, 4, 3, 2.
This is the WSCC Radio Network. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another evening of wholesome family entertainment on the WSCC Radio Broadcasting Network. High atop the famous Knickerbocker Building in beautiful downtown Empire City, I'm your announcer, Richard Dunlap. Here's our own Jane Blaine to start us off with this number from The Hit Parade.
My heart isn't some kind of grifter, wants to belong to one man, but you're a notorious drifter, can't blame me if I win. See, I'm not like June, Jill, or Mary, shake off this spell over me. I don't want a Jack, Jake, or Harry, please darling set me free. I'm a smitten girl who's in a trance, standing on the floor, left at the dance. You left this town, so blow me down. I guess you did that voodoo on me. You're the very reason that I'm feeling blue. Heart and head are lost, all because of you. I'll bug my elk, drink tiger milk. Yeah, you did that voodoo on me.
That was Jane Blaine, accompanied by Ned Styles with that popular hit, You Did Your Voodoo on Me. And now, these words from our sponsors.
5 cents off Judy Parker cake mix. That's right, ladies. Judy Parker, America's favorite cake mix, will take 5 cents off any purchase of Judy Parker's cake or brownie mix when you show the cashier the mystery birthday cake hidden somewhere on the box.
Is the mystery birthday cake hard to find?
Not if you look hard enough. Next time you're in the grocery store, just scour the front, sides, and back of Judy Parker's cake mix box for the mystery birthday cake. And here's a hint: if you don't find it there, just look at her bottom panel, and I'll bet you'll find it there. Back to you, Richard.
Is it one of those days when you just don't have the vim and vigor for the kind of day you had planned? Are you feeling down in the dumps today? Well, there's an answer to your problems. Take Vitamine. With Vitamine, a carefully blended complex of vitamins A, B, B1, and niacin are mined from Mother Nature to send relaxation cascading through the circulatory systems. Remember, you'll feel fine with Vitamine.
This is the WSCC Radio Network. The WSCC Radio Network proudly presents Radio Suspense Theater. 2 tales of mystery guaranteed to keep you in suspense. Tonight, 2 marvels of modern mystery, A Deadly Wager and the Parakeets Vanish. Tonight's first episode, A Deadly Wager, stars Richard Dunlap, Morty Sparks, Lana Lane, Fred Schaefer, and the rest of the Radio Suspense Theater ensemble. Now sit back and prepare yourself for another spine-tingling mystery on Radio Suspense Theater. Step right up, ladies and gentlemen. Take a seat in one of these coal carts and roll along the terrible tunnel through the mine of haunted horror.
Where am I? A carnival? How apropos. Smiling blank faces, sweet candy treats, and a promise of horror. Surreal. Not the kind of place you'd expect to find an analytical chemist. That's right, I'm a chemist. I'm not bragging, I'm just stating a fact. If you think there's something glamorous or noble about being a chemist, well, just keep listening. You may think a chemist makes a lot of money, and that may be true in some cases, but not in mine. I barely make enough to get by from week to week. 2 years ago, I lost my wife, Helen. If I had the money, the doctors might have been able to save her, but it wasn't to be. Last month, I had a breakthrough with one of my chemical experiments, and I'm convinced it could help with the war effort. If I've discovered what I think I have, we might be able to end this conflict within a year. It wouldn't bring Helen back, but it would mean that all my efforts weren't in vain.
Step right up, ladies and gentlemen, and roll along the terrible tunnel through the mine of haunted horror. Just 1 slim dime per ticket will give you and your partner a chance for the thrill of a lifetime. Step right up.
Look, here's a dime. I'll take the ride.
This cart is designed for 2, friend. A single cart should be along any time now.
I can't wait for the next cart. Here's 20 cents.
I can't take that. You'll need to buy a ticket from the vendor up front.
Listen, pal, I need to get out of broad daylight. Here's 2 bits.
A quarter? You just bought yourself a ride, mister. Step right up, ladies and gentlemen.
There. Now if they just get this thing moving, I won't feel safe until I'm out of sight. I won't even feel safe then. What's the hold up?
Hold that cart.
Hey, this is a private cart.
What do you mean? I counted 2 seats.
And I paid for both.
It's the only free spot in the group of carts. Why are you trying to hog it all for yourself?
I just need...
We're moving. It doesn't make any difference now.
I guess it doesn't.
Wow, it got dark in a hurry. I guess this place is rather childish, isn't it?
I suppose so.
I'm Sally Westlake, by the way.
Bill Roma.
Pleased to meet you, Bill. What is that?
Scared.
What? No, of course not.
Say, aren't these rides for guys to bring their girlfriends, you know, to get them in a clinch? Where's your boyfriend, Dad?
Where's your girlfriend?
Touche.
I'm meeting a friend here in an hour. I'm just killing time. What is your excuse?
I'm trying to keep from getting killed.
Is that your way of telling me it is none of my business?
I'm serious. I've just got about 6 more hours to stay alive.
Oh, that was quite terrifying. Oh. Say, what are you talking about?
Well, I made a wager.
What kind of wager could get you killed in the next 6 hours?
I can't tell you. Can't tell anyone. Relax. It was only a recording from that fake monster over there.
Is that a dead body at its feet?
Relax. It's probably a wax dummy. All part of the illusion.
Are you sure?
Well, it is a ride through the mine of haunted horror. Don't you think they're obligated to have that sort of thing in here?
I guess so.
Are you all right?
Of course. Why wouldn't I be?
Because you have your arms wrapped around my neck.
Oh, so sorry. What you're telling me about someone trying to kill you is very upsetting.
Now, well, imagine how I feel.
Oh, what is that up ahead?
Looks like a light. End of the tunnel. That wasn't much of a cover for me.
Oh, the ride's almost over already? What a chip. What happened?
We stopped.
I know that, but why? You think it's all part of the ride?
Well, I don't know, but I'm not sticking around to find out.
Oh, hey, where are you going?
Over there behind that pile of coal by the fake monster. The longer I stay in here, the longer I can probably stay alive. It was nice meeting you, Sally.
Oh, no you don't.
Go back.
Not on your life. This monster isn't so scary up close. That dead body is still kind of creepy.
Didn't you listen to what I told you? Someone's trying to kill me. Get back in the car and get out of here.
It's too late now. There goes the cart. You left me with a whale of a mystery to solve, and I'm not going anywhere until I get to the bottom of it.
Oh, what the heck. It goes against one of the terms of the bet, but once you're out of here, we'll never see each other again. If I tell you about it, will you get on the next empty cart and get out of here?
Sure. Who's the bet with?
My father-in-law, Winston Wells.
Winston Wells?
Oh, you've heard of him.
The millionaire? Who hasn't? You made yourself a pretty powerful enemy. If you made this bet with Winston Wells, there's not much chance that he won't win it.
I'm beginning to think you're right. He hates me because he thinks I'm responsible for his daughter's death.
Are you?
Well, there are days that I do wonder. She died because we didn't have the money for her treatment, and her old man hates me because he thought that if I'd given up my dream of being a chemist and gotten an honest job, I would have had enough money to provide the proper care for her.
Winston Wells is a millionaire. Why didn't he pay for the treatment?
He's a notorious miser.
That's right. I've heard that.
That's how he became a millionaire. Very eccentric.
A real germaphobe, too. Even so, he couldn't see clear to help his own daughter?
Well, let's just say that he's beyond eccentric. I didn't realize just how bad it was until last month. He heard about an experiment that I've been working on, and he called me to his mansion to talk about it. Before the meeting, he procured some documents about the experimental work that a group of German chemists were doing for the other side. He used his influence to get a copy of the original classified files from that brand new Pentagon complex. I had them translated, and they really didn't apply to what I was doing. But I did get the feeling that maybe he was planning to bury the hatchet. Little did I know that the nice dinner then he had settled up in his den after dinner were some brandies he had set up. He finished up some business with his secretary over the intercom.
And after you finish getting that typed up, come into the den and put everything back in order. Our meeting should have been concluded by then. And make sure to type up that report on both sides of the paper. I'll have nothing wasted.
That was quite a lot of business to do over the intercom, Mr. Wells.
My secretary is quite efficient. The less time I'm required to be in someone's presence, the less chance there is for exposure to germs.
And yet you're willing to expose yourself to my germs this evening.
Yes. That's because I have a proposition that may be worth the risk.
A proposition.
That's right. I hear you're doing some independent work on a chemical experiment.
As much as I can. I don't really have the resources to work on it at the pace that I want to, and would you like to hear about it?
Not really. But you do need money to complete this experiment in a timely fashion.
Desperately.
I have a proposal that may make such funding possible.
A grant?
A wager.
What kind of wager?
You despise me, don't you, Bill?
Yeah, we've had our differences.
Oh, come. We're the only ones in the room. You despise me, and I feel quite the same way about you. But you do know me to be a man of my word, isn't that so?
A man of your word? Well, let's just say that you're transparent.
Still struggling for euphemisms. Delightful.
So, what's this wager?
Take a look at this.
That's quite the pile of money.
5 packets of $20 bills, all totaling $25,000. If you win the bet, it's all yours. I dare say you could finish your experiment in short order with that kind of money.
Well, as I'm sure you know, I don't have any money to put up against it.
That's because you've always undervalued money, young man.
Maybe so, but what does that have to do with...
The doctors tell me that my heart is bad and I don't have long to live. I have no regrets. I've worked hard and have gotten everything I want, with one exception. Revenge on the man who caused my daughter's death.
If you're still believing that, then why the bet? Why not just take your revenge? I mean, how could I stop you?
It won't be enough for me to take my revenge. I intend to get away with it. Call the bet an incentive. You will put your life up against my $25,000. My bet is that I can kill you within the next 30 days.
That's crazy. Why would you take him up on a bet like that?
I didn't intend to. In fact, I told him he was off his rocker and started to leave.
What stopped you?
Well, I saw a picture of Helen on the wall of his den. I thought about without her, I didn't have anything to lose. I mean, with the money, I might be able to do some good in the world. Maybe my experiment could put an end to the war. I mean, if I lost, what difference would it make? My life's been just so flat without her, and I'd rather not go on living.
You really loved her.
She was such a gentle soul. It's hard to believe that she was fathered by the likes of Winston Wells. She only knew kindness, so quiet. She didn't have any friends.
None?
Well, she had one close friend when she was in high school. She talked about her all the time. But her father's business affairs caused him to move the family around so much that Helen lost track of her. Then in college, there I was, the timid chemist. She was the only rich kid, and naturally we married without her father's knowledge.
You really miss her.
The only happiness I know is in my work, but it gives me no comfort when I think that, maybe Wells is right. If I'd had been a more loving husband, well, maybe she'd still be alive. Maybe I deserve this. So I agreed. Okay, I'll do it.
Congratulations, my boy. I didn't think you had it in you. You must want that money pretty badly.
It's not the money.
What then?
You wouldn't understand.
It doesn't make any difference, does it? But before we close the deal, we need to lay some ground rules.
Oh? What kind of ground rules?
First, you will tell no one about our wager.
Well, I mean, who would I tell?
Nonetheless, if you tell a soul about our wager, the bet is off.
Fine. I won't tell anyone.
Second, to make sure you stay within a reasonable striking distance, on every day of this month, you'll be required to spend the hours from 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. in your own premises. That will keep you from straying too far away. If you are not in your apartment during even 1 minute during those hours, the wager is off.
Now, how would you know whether I was there or not?
That's for me to worry about.
Well, then I'd be a sitting duck.
Don't worry. In return for your adherence to this condition, you have my word that I will not try to kill you while you're in your apartment. Fair enough?
I can live with that.
Perhaps. Additionally, at precisely 24 hours before the deadline, if you're still alive, you must come to this den and we will sit across from each other in this very room, as we are right now, for exactly 1 hour. You have my word that while you're sitting here across from me, I will make no attempt on your life.
No. You just kill me when I'm on my way up here, on my way out the door.
Very well. You have my word that I won't make any attempts on your life while you are en route or leaving our final meeting as well. Anything else? Would you like me to promise that I'll make no attempts on your life during the entire month? That would hardly be sporting.
No, I accept these conditions.
One more thing. Here's a sheet of paper. Take that pencil and write what I tell you.
Okay. What do I write?
Precisely this. I am a failure.
What kind of twist?
Write exactly what I tell you or the wager's off. I am a failure. I had to do it. And sign your name.
Suicide note. Now at least I see how you plan to get away with it.
Have you written it?
All of it?
Give it to me. Very well. Let's drink on it. To our wager. Aren't you going to drink to the agreement?
Oh, I know you, Wells. You poisoned the brandy. All these conditions were just so many distractions to let me get my guard down.
Don't be ridiculous. Drink to our agreement.
No.
For crying out loud, if you won't drink, at least pour your glass back into the decanter. I can't stand waste.
I believe I'll have that drink after all. I could use it. To your health.
What made you change your mind?
Oh, like I said, Wells, I know you. The dirty skinflint you are. You'd never let someone waste an entire decanter of brandy by pouring poison into it, even if it meant you'd win your bet. I've seen your servants pour unfinished glasses of brandy back into their decanters before. Pathetic. Your miser's touch will be the death of you yet.
You think you're clever, don't you? We'll see who the clever one is at the end of this month.
What was that?
Well, it looks like the next group of carts are coming through. But listen, now you know it all. You better get on the next empty cart and get out of here because you're not safe as long as you're with me.
But you didn't tell me all of it.
What do you mean?
Your final meeting with Wells, 24 hours before the deadline. The deadline is less than 6 hours away. That means you've already had your final meeting with him.
Yes and no. I went to his den. I was there precisely 24 hours before the deadline. I sat in the chair across from his for exactly 1 hour. As soon as it was up, I got up and left.
What did you talk about?
Not a thing.
He did not say anything?
Oh, he wasn't there. Take it easy. It's the fake monster.
You think I'd be used to it by now.
Well, now you know it all. There's an empty cart on the tracks. Now go ahead and go.
But why wasn't Wells at the meeting? You don't think it was a trick?
I don't even care anymore. Now get on that cart and... Wait.
What is it?
That dead body at the foot of the fake monster. I think it moved.
What?
Did you see it?
No, you imagined it.
It's him. How did he know?
Oh, Bill, it's not him.
How can you be so sure?
Because I know it's not him. I'm his secretary.
You're his. Of course. He won the bet. All this time, I thought he was trying to kill me. He was just trying to make me miserable. I guess there's no sense in staying in hiding anymore.
Where are you going? Wait!
You were good, Sally. I'm very sympathetic.
You don't understand.
Just get in.
But there's still about 5 hours left.
The wager is over and I lost.
You're still in danger for the next 5 hours.
Give it up, sister. You did it. You got me to tell you the whole thing like your boss told you to. He didn't kill me, but he put me through a month of fear and darkness. And he'll get away with it, and there's nothing I can do.
Bill, Mr. Wells did not send me to trick you. I didn't even know about the wager. I knew that you and he were doing something that had to do with Helen. That's why I followed you here to see if I could find out what it was.
Well, that doesn't make sense.
Let me explain. Over the past year, I've heard Mr. Wells make vile accusations about you being the cause of Helen's death. I thought they must have been true, but now after spending this time with you, I realize that you really loved her, that you were responsible for her death. He was.
Oh, what do you care anyway?
Because she was my friend.
Friend?
We were friends in high school.
You?
That's right. I was her high school friend. When I learned of Helen's death, I came here to find out what happened. I took a job as Mr. Wells' secretary so I could be close enough to learn what could have been. I was afraid there was foul play involved.
Well, there wasn't. She died of an illness.
I know that now. But don't you understand? You're still in danger.
There he is, officer.
Oh, the police.
Hold it right there, fella.
That's the guy who was acting so strange.
Now, you haven't been giving this young lady any trouble, have you?
No, officer.
All right. What's your name, fella?
Bill Roma. Here's my driver's license.
You're Bill Roma, all right. We'll have an eye fallen into a pot of jam. Put your hands up.
Why are you drawing a gun on him?
Bill Roma, you're under arrest for the murder of Winston Wells.
Murder?
Turn around and put your hands behind your back.
You didn't do it, did you, Bill?
No, I didn't. Don't you see, Sally? He's won.
Whatever do you mean?
Wait, Officer O'Brien, how did he die?
Poisoned. His body was discovered by his housekeeper behind his desk. When the police got there, they discovered the distinct odor of poison in his brandy glass.
Of course. The whole bet to kill him was a ruse. He knew that he was dying, and he told me so. He took advantage of the situation to frame me for his murder. He'll kill me after all with the gas chamber.
Get in. Watch your head.
Never been in a police station before. This empty little room is creepier than the haunted mine.
Mr. Roma, my name's Inspector Bullock. You're in some trouble, son.
That's the way it was planned, Inspector.
You saying you were framed?
That's right.
And who framed you?
Winston Wells.
The murdered man. Well, I have to say, in all my years as a police inspector, no one started using that one on me.
I mean, I don't blame you for not believing me. It's kind of hard to believe myself.
We have an eyewitness. The housekeeper saw you leave the Wells mansion. She went into the den and found Wells behind the desk.
Oh, I was there, all right. I didn't see him. Wait a minute. If he was lying behind the desk the whole time, I would never have seen him.
You're a chemist, I understand.
I am.
Are these your documents?
They're the documents with the results of the experiments done by German chemists.
Classified documents. We found them in your apartment.
Oh, Wells gave them to me.
All a part of his frame-up.
Now, what would these documents have to do with the frame-up?
I think you know. These documents contain a formula for a new compound of mercury cyanide.
Oh, very good, Inspector. They were trying to find out if it would work as an agent in missile combustion. If you read the entire document, you'll know that the results were negative.
That's true. This compound couldn't be used in the combustion of missiles. But they did find out it could be used as a poison when mixed with certain alcohols.
Oh, so you think I poisoned Wells?
Did you write this note? That's your signature, isn't it?
I'm a failure. I had to do it. Oh yeah, I wrote the note.
We found it on Wells' desk. Are you gonna try and tell me that Wells forced you to write the note? All part of the frame-up?
He's got me.
Inspector, I've been interviewing Wells' secretary. I told her about all the details of the poisoning. She's got something pretty screwy. I think you better hear it for yourself.
Bring her in.
Look, Inspector, I know the evidence is stacked up against me, but Wells hates me. And he thought I was responsible for the death of my wife, his daughter, so he made a bet with me that he could kill me within a month. Wells had a bad heart and he didn't have much more time to live, so obviously he staged his own death so that it would look like I did it. I mean, can't you see? He's won his bet and he's trying to kill me with the death penalty.
That's pretty far-fetched, Mr. Roma. I don't imagine you have any evidence to prove any of this.
No, Inspector, I don't.
Come on in, Miss Westlake.
Inspector Bullock, Officer O'Brien told me all the facts of the case. I now know without a doubt that Mr. Roma didn't kill Winston Wells.
How can you be so sure?
Because I know who did kill him.
Well, who was it?
It was me.
Sally, are you trying to take the fall for me?
No, Bill. It was an accident.
Why didn't you say something before?
Because I didn't realize what happened until the officer told me about the particularities of the case.
Tell them what you told me.
I was working at the mansion yesterday before Bill arrived for his final meeting with Mr. Wells. I went to Mr. Wells's den to let him know I was leaving. He wasn't there, but I discovered that there were 2 glasses of brandy on his desk. Mr. Wells is very particular about leaving brandy in the glasses, so I did what he always instructed us to do and poured the glasses back into the decanter. As I was finishing, the housekeeper came in and told me that Mr. Wells had a guest coming, and had asked her to fill the glasses. Naturally, when I was made aware of my error, I filled both glasses back up and returned them to their original position.
You think Wells planned to poison Mr. Roma after all?
Mr. Wells must have come back into his own den before Bill got there and began drinking his own brandy. Don't you see? That's what killed him. He prepared a glass of poisoned brandy for Bill before he arrived. By pouring the brandy back into the decanter, I contaminated the entire bottle with poison. I poured them back into the empty glasses without realizing that I was filling them both with poison.
But wouldn't pouring the poisoned glass into the decanter dilute the poison? Surely it wouldn't have killed him.
Unless he had a bad heart.
Of course. So his plan was to poison me and make it look like a suicide. He knew that I wouldn't suspect that he'd poisoned the brandy again after I'd already called him on it once at our first meeting. And by preparing the brandy well in advance of my arrival, he would keep true to his promise not to kill me while I was there.
It looks like Winston Wells died of a heart attack brought on by the poison he intended to use on you, Mr. Roma.
So I was right. In the end, his miser's touch was the death of him after all.
You have just been listening to Radio Suspense Theater's rendition of the mystery thriller A Deadly Wager. Stay tuned. After the following messages, Radio Suspense Theater will return with another mystery thriller, guaranteed to keep you in suspense.
This is Skippy Sawyer for the United States Army Recruiting Center. I want to tell you young men out there that there is an opportunity for you with an insured future with the United States Army. The U.S. Army will take care of its recruits from the day you step into a uniform to the day you put it in the mothballs. The United States Army is known all over the world for its care, training, and handling of its privates, as well as its veterans. Sign up today.
This is the WSCC Radio Network. We will now go to our local affiliates.
And we're off here. All right, let's be back here in 10 minutes.
You all right, boss?
I'm feeling fine with vitamin.
That's all.
You're a brave soul.
Fifi, I just have other interests. That's just the way it is. I just have to tell her that.
You're just gonna march right up to her and tell her that, eh? You got guts, partner.
Maybe I'll just write her a letter. Give me a paper and pencil. Please?
And I bet issue that pencil again.
Or just Homo sapien friend.
I'll be glad to provoke that big guy.
Okay, so what do I write?
How about my little French pastry?
Fred,
Dearest one?
not that encouraging.
Correct. Sugar, it's over. Signed your old flame.
I'll just sign it, Morty. There she is.
I'm not giving it to her.
This is your idea.
Not the breaking her heart part.
Just give it to her.
Yet, say, I've got this,
Is that Morty?
what's it?
Boss isn't doing much better. What are we gonna do?
Say, Morty needs you to give this to his girlfriend.
Morty has a girlfriend?
Not his new one, his old one.
Do you happen to know who Morty's girlfriend is? I do. Oh, then good. This is for you.
How much time do we have left?
Holy, 60 seconds. Places, everyone.
This is the WSCC Radio Network. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the second portion of our show. We're broadcasting from high atop the famous Knickerbocker building here in downtown Empire City. We now go to our own Lois Lounge with this brand new musical number.
Stormy gales, hear the thunder in my sails. Ships asunder, gone so long, my mind still in wonder. Is our shore in the cards this time? Tempest roar, in my ears I do abhor. Ships asunder can fathom my heart as plunder. Rusty pearls and cold gold brine. My booze are home, my wants, my hearth a deep sea. The old ocean foam, a mocking hand to tempt me. Lord, raise the fall. I'll sing an old sea shanty of a heart that warms again. Should I try, get my feet back on the ground? Ships asunder, no longer should I love and touch her. Man the rails, man the yards, say goodbye.
That was Lois Lounge, accompanied by Ned Styles, with that new chart hit. And now, before we go to the second episode, let's step backstage and look in on our guest star, Miss Fifi Latour, as her maid Agnes helps Miss Latour get ready for this evening's next spine-tingling mystery.
Quick, Agnes, hold this dress. I've never been so excited in all my life.
It's really wonderful, isn't it, Miss Latour?
Too wonderful. I'm really looking forward to playing that scene in the apartment.
It made me think of that handsome Miss Henry. Mr. Henry, Miss Latour. Miss Latour, do you suppose that if I had your complexion, do you suppose Mr. Henry would...
What is it, Agnes?
Tell me what's wrong with my face, Miss Latour. Those red blotches just won't go away.
It may be your soap. What kind are you using? Beauty soap, I suppose?
Yes, Miss Latour. One that promises radiant beauty, glamorous youth, and irresistible loveliness. Oh, Miss Latour, I'd hoped that Mr. Henry would...
Agnes, let me let you in on a little secret. You can't clean out the pores of your skin with beauty oil and mysterious ingredients.
No?
And many perfume soaps contain fatty acids and alkaloids that can irritate and harm your skin.
But, Miss Latour...
My doctor recommends crystal soap because all any soap can really do is cleanse your face and promote natural oils. And to do that, a soap should be pure. And that's crystal soap.
And then, Miss Latour, do you think Mr. Henry would...
Oh, finish my bow, Agnes. There's the buzzer for the second episode to begin.
No, Agnes will never get a greasy nose by using crystal soap. But we do hope she gets Mr. Henry. This is the WSCC Radio Network. The WSCC Radio Network proudly presents Radio Suspense Theater, a mystery thriller guaranteed to keep you in suspense. Our second episode, The Parakeets Vanish, stars Morty Sparks, Jane Plain, Emma Piles, and this evening's guest star, Miss Fifi Latour. Now sit back and prepare yourself for the spine-tingling mystery on Radio Suspense Theater.
Nobody get denied.
Okay, now that we have this bachelor's party at the proper pitch of revelry, I would like to offer a toast. Quiet, this is a most solemn occasion. No, I'm serious. I'd like to make a toast to the man we all least expected would become a reformed character. The man who will now take the walk down the aisle to accept his ball and chain with dignity. Mr. Ronald Adams.
Here, here.
Let's have a speech from our guest of honor.
All right. Thank you, Jimmy, for that most gracious toast. But I want you fellas to know, in all seriousness, that Audrey's a great gal. I'll happily be chained to her for the rest of my life.
Aww.
And now, gentlemen, it's time for me to depart.
No! Wait a minute, Ron. You're the guest of honor. It's your bachelor's party, old boy. You haven't even had a drink. And we have a surprise coming.
Yes, I can imagine what kind of surprise you boys have in store for me. That's precisely why I'm leaving.
What happened to the happy-go-lucky Ronald Adams who never passed up a chance at adventure?
I guess I found the right girl, Jimmy.
That's what you said about that little French girl you were running with. What was her name? Gigi Champlain.
Oh, come on, fellas. That was an error of youth.
I saw Gigi the other day. She told me you're still on her mind.
You didn't happen to mention to her that I was engaged, did you?
I couldn't break her heart like that.
Aww.
You should have. Gigi's ancient history. Since I've met Audrey, I'm not the same man as I was back then.
Well, it sounds like true love, buddy, and we're all happy for you. But you're not getting out of here without seeing the surprise we've got for you. Should be here any minute.
Okay, I guess I should stay for that.
And you have to have at least one glass of champagne.
All right, one glass, but that's it. I really want to get home.
Come on, pal. What's waiting for you at home? Nothing but your roommate, Tom Lacey.
I want to stop by and see Audrey before she goes to bed. You know that she's already moved into our new apartment.
It's not like it's a long trip, buddy. Your new apartment's on the same floor as the one you live on now.
I know, but I want to see her and then turn in early myself. Big day tomorrow.
Say, why don't you just stay in the apartment you're in now after you get married?
The one I have now isn't very big. It's okay for a couple of bachelors like me and Tom Lacey, but a new bride needs some room to add her own special touches. And besides, the new apartment was a gift from my Aunt Gertrude.
Ah, the grand lady of Empire City. She could afford to make a gift of it. She owns the whole building.
Hey, man, where's the roommate of yours, man, anyway? Shouldn't it be here, man?
You guys know Tom's not a drinker. He'd only feel out of place.
Yeah, the little guy's been a teetotaler since school days.
Tom's not such a little guy anymore, Jimmy. He's been working with the barbell since you graduated.
I bet he can't do this.
Come on, Jimmy, put me down. You're liable to drop me in your condition. Or Audrey have to say if I had to go down the aisle with crutches.
Hey, what happened to Tom when you move out?
He'll stay in the old apartment. As Aunt Gertrude's personal assistant, he'll be close by.
Must be nice to have the richest woman in Empire City buy you a luxury apartment. You don't think the fact that it's right next to a personal apartment and office complex has anything to do with her wanting to keep an eye on you, do you?
Come on, Jimmy. Gertrude is a gruff old gal, but she's my aunt. Raised me since I was a boy, you know that.
Yeah, that's true. Even though she's given me a hard time once in a while, she's been good to my old friend. No doubt about it. As long as you don't have to live with her parakeets, you'll be just fine.
Okay, all right. So she owns a room full of parakeets. It wouldn't be right for someone as rich as she was to not have some eccentricities. Hey, what in the world is this? It's not my birthday, fellas. I'm getting married.
And in honor of the occasion, we got you the biggest cake in Empire City.
You guys will be eating cake for months. That thing's huge.
It was the only way to get your surprise in here.
Isn't the cake surprise enough?
That's what we wanted you to think.
Surprise!
Hello, boys!
That was a heck of an entrance. How long have you been in that cake, miss?
Oh, I have been in a lot
than that.
Let the festivities begin.
Yeah, so's your old man.
What? Where am I?
You're on your way home, pal.
I'm in the back of a cab?
Oh, thanks for the news flash.
How'd I get here, cabbie?
Well, your friends put you in here. They gave me your address and cab fare.
Ugh, my head.
You need to take it easy on the champagne, fella.
I only had one glass.
Well, yeah, now, isn't that right?
Where are you going?
Oh, this is the route I usually take to the Markham Arms Hotel.
The Markham Arms? I don't live at the Markham Arms.
Are you sure?
I think I know where I live.
Well, you seem a little confused to me.
Turn around. Take me to Adams Plaza. That's where my apartment is.
It's your cab fare.
What time is it?
Oh, it's a little after 10.
10? Audrey's probably gone to bed already.
Well, who's Audrey?
My fiance.
You probably wouldn't want your fiance to see you in this condition anyway.
I tell you, I only had one glass of champagne.
I wouldn't try that line on her if I were you, pal.
It's the truth.
Here we are. Now, it's none of my business, but your friend said it was your bachelor's party. And no one's gonna begrudge you one last fling before you tie the knot. Not even your intended. A little wine, a little song, a few women.
I don't do that anymore. No more wine, no more song, and certainly no more women.
Ronnie? Is that you, Ronnie Adams?
You don't say.
Gigi? Gigi Champlain? What are you doing here?
Listen, little lady, you better take care of your boyfriend here.
I'm not her boyfriend.
You great, big, beautiful boy. How I've missed you.
Whatever you say, pal, you're on your own.
Oh, Ronnie, why did you leave me? I can't stop thinking about you. You break my heart.
Listen, Gigi, I don't know what you're doing here, but I need to get inside.
You're staggering. Let me help you.
I can make it on my own.
I will help you to the lobby.
All right, run the lobby, Gigi. Goodbye.
Do you think you can brush off your little girl with a goodbye? I haven't seen you for so long. You owe me an explanation.
You're right, Gigi, but I don't think you're gonna like it. The truth is...
Easy, my big boy. You almost stumbled over. You shouldn't drink so much. I always tell you so.
I only had one glass of... maybe I did drink more than that.
Here, let me get you on the elevator.
I only remember having one drink. Maybe I got carried away.
What floor?
3, room 306. The last thing I remember is the girl coming out of the cake.
Oh, where were you, Ronnie?
I was at my bachelor's party.
What? If you're at your bachelor's party, that means no. You're not going and getting married on your Gigi.
It's the truth. You had to find out sooner or later, Gigi. I'm getting married tomorrow.
You break my heart.
Come on, Gigi. We haven't seen each other in months. You must have known what we had wasn't going anywhere. Look, there it is. Room 306. Home sweet home. You know you can't come in with me, so c'est la vie, Gigi.
Goodbye, Ronnie. I'll never forget you. Oh, Ronnie. Ronnie?
Uh-huh. What? Audrey, that's you?
It's your Gigi. You fell down to the floor.
How long have I been out?
Just a few seconds. Let me help you to your apartment. No excuses.
Yeah, okay, I could use the help. But just to the inside of the apartment. It's right here in front of the elevator. Ugh, I can't find the door key.
Look, the door is open.
Tom must be here. Just get me to the sofa, then you better go.
I'll turn on the radio. Where is it?
It's on the table by the bookcase.
There is no bookcase. Oh, here is it, silly boy. Right by the sofa.
What? This isn't my apartment.
What are we doing here then?
I mean, this is where my apartment should be, but this isn't my apartment. I recognize that mural on the wall.
So this is your apartment?
I said I recognize it, but it's not mine.
Ronnie,
What's wrong?
there's someone behind that door over there. I can see someone through the crack.
Let's get to the bottom of this. Hello? Hey, we're sorry about the intrusion, but we seem to have come to the wrong apartment. I'm on the 3rd floor and I must have...
Is he alright?
I don't think so. There's a knife sticking in his back. Parakeets? This must be my Aunt Gertrude's apartment. How did we get in here?
I don't know, but I can't take anymore.
Gigi, wait! Help me find out! Gone. Well, I might as well turn him over and find out who this is. Hey, I recognize this guy. Who is it? Gigi, is that you?
Hello, Ronald. Who is Gigi?
Audrey?
What are you doing passed out in the hall?
We're right by the elevator.
I guess your bachelor party must have been a success.
It's not what you think, Audrey.
Don't try to explain.
No, I think someone was murdered.
What are you talking about? Where?
It must have been a nightmare. It was in Aunt Gertrude's apartment, but it was also mine. There were parakeets in her office, but it looked just like my office.
I think you had too much champagne, dear.
You must be right. Now I remember who it was.
Who?
The man who was murdered. I've seen his picture in the paper. It was Pierre Dupont.
The international financer?
That's right. I remember him because I think he was in a business deal with Aunt Gertrude.
In your nightmare, or?
Someone's getting off the elevator.
You will do as I say, Tom Lacey. I want those papers at the office, and I expect them to be in my hands in short order.
I'm sorry, ma'am. It won't happen again.
See that it doesn't. What took you so long to come and get me? Well, what do we have here? My nephew in an embarrassingly disheveled state, and his fiancée in her negligee. I won't be able to get you two married off quickly enough, will I?
It's been a rough night, Aunt Gertrude.
No doubt. Your bachelor's party was a smashing success, I hear. I trust it's all out of your system. Your wild oats have been suitably sown.
Aunt Gertrude, yeah, I think it's all out of my system now.
If this is resolved, then I suggest that we go to our respective apartments and forget that it ever happened.
Yeah, let's go, Tom.
Wait a minute, Ronald. What about the murdered man?
I knew this wasn't over.
I thought I saw a dead man in my apartment. Well, in your apartment? In that apartment?
What are you babbling about?
Have you been involved in a business deal with Pierre Dupont?
He approached me about a business deal. I did a little background check on Monsieur Dupont. I didn't like what I found out. I sent him packing.
I think he was a dead man. I thought he was a dead man.
Let's not stand out here blathering needlessly. Let's go into your apartment and put an end to this mystery.
Looks like our apartment, Ron.
The Mexican mural.
The one in my office?
It's not on my wall.
I should hope not.
There's a tabletop radio.
Where is the body?
Right there, outside the office door.
Nothing there now.
And my office. No parakeets.
Parakeets?
This is definitely my apartment.
Well, mystery solved. Now maybe call it a night.
Maybe you're on a different floor, Ron. If you were drinking, maybe you just pushed the elevator button to the wrong floor.
I didn't push the elevator button.
Then who did? Listen, it sounds like someone's running up the steps.
Let's go find out who it is. It's the night maid.
Why are you running, girl?
Miss Adams, I was going upstairs to see the manager. The police are downstairs.
What for?
There's been a murder. They found a body lying face down in the fountain in the plaza courtyard.
I'm the inspector put in charge of the case, Mr. Adams. Police Inspector Dillon. I'm gonna need as much information as possible from you and the others. Hey, O'Neill.
Yeah, Chief.
Turn the water supply to the fountain. Turn it off. We don't want to disturb that body any more than we already have.
Sure thing.
And go inside and get on the horn to downtown. See if anything's come in.
Come on, Inspector.
You'd think it would kill him to move at any pace but slow.
So, who's the murdered man?
Well, we don't know yet, and that's what we're trying to find out. It's a loose end, and I hate loose ends.
It wasn't Pierre DuPont, was it?
Why do you ask that?
I had a very strange experience tonight. If that were DuPont in the fountain over there, it might answer a lot of questions. Mind if I take a look?
Go ahead, just don't move the body.
His clothes look the same. This statue's in the way. I can't really get a good look at his face without moving the body.
Let's move the statue. Just make sure we don't disturb the body. I'm too old for this.
It'll take more than the two of us to move it.
Well, we'll wait until O'Neill gets back. In the meantime, why don't you tell me about the strange night you had? Oh, what in the world is that? O'Neill, what's all that noise?
We have a bit of a brouhaha in the lobby, Inspector. I was on the phone to downtown, and some French dame came in, and there was some sort of misunderstanding.
Oh, no.
Oh yeah, your girlfriend in there says that she brought you home from some wild party and was worried about you.
The French girl is not my girlfriend.
You better tell her that. The gal who says she's your fiance is getting mighty heated.
I take it this has something to do with your strange night you're about to fill me in on.
And the old gal isn't very happy with the pace of things.
Well, she's not the only one. Go in there and get them settled down, O'Neill.
Yes, sir.
So, tell me why you think DuPont might be our dead man.
Because when I came into my apartment tonight, at least I think it was my apartment, I found someone who looked like the pictures I've seen in the newspaper of Pierre DuPont. I think it was DuPont, but someone knocked me out? I think that's what happened. Anyway, I regained consciousness in the hallway. When we came back into the apartment, the body wasn't there and the parakeets were gone.
Parakeets.
Yeah, there were parakeets in my office.
You own parakeets?
No, my Aunt Gertrude does.
I'm beginning to see what you meant by having a strange experience.
I know, it doesn't make any sense.
Well, actually it may. I read that article in Empire magazine about your aunt's penchant for parakeets.
I guess just about everybody read that profile on her.
Your aunt lives in this building, doesn't she?
Just down the hall from me.
Do you live alone in your apartment?
No, I have a roommate.
What's his name?
Tom Lacey, my aunt's personal assistant.
Do you know what this is?
Some kind of business document. A contract between Pierre DuPont and my Aunt Gertrude.
Is that your aunt's signature?
It looks like it, but she told me she never had any business dealings with DuPont. She said she found out about some shady dealings and... Listen, Inspector, my aunt would never be mixed up in anything illegal.
Where's your apartment?
On the 3rd floor.
Do you care to show me?
We'd have to go through the lobby, and I'd really rather not.
Can you point to it from right here?
Well, yeah, I guess I can. That's the window to my office right there, right above us. The 3rd window up.
Well, that clears up one thing.
It does? What?
Ma'am, you can't enter the crime scene until...
I demand to see the man in charge right this instant.
I can handle this, Miss Adams.
Step aside, Lacey.
Ronnie, are you all right?
Oh, no.
What is the meaning of this, Ronald?
It's okay, O'Neill, let them come in. I'm Police Inspector Dillon.
I want some answers from you, Inspector.
And you're about to get them, Miss Adams, but not before I get some answers of my own. Now, quiet down. Take a look at this document, Miss Adams. Is that your signature?
It most certainly is not. This is some sort of scam.
Do you realize you're talking to Inspector?
No, I don't. Now, who are you?
I'm Tom Lacey, Miss Adams' personal assistant.
Here, Lacey. You take a look at this document. Is that your employer's signature?
Yes, that's her signature.
Lacey.
But I've never seen this contract before. She would not have signed a contract that I didn't personally handle and file. Where did you get it?
Oh, I'll get to that in a minute. Have you ever seen Pierre DuPont, Lacey?
Yes, I have.
Is that him over there in the fountain?
How would I know? He's face down in the water with a nasty knife wound in his back.
Go take a look. Oh, you'll need to move that statue first. O'Neill, go turn the body over.
Sure thing.
Well,
That's him, all right.
take a look, Mr. Adams. Is that the dead body you thought you saw earlier?
It sure is.
This contract was sticking out of the back of DuPont's vest. He must have had it hidden on him.
Why would he do that?
Probably because he wanted to keep it concealed until he could confront Aunt Gertrude with it.
That's a ludicrous accusation.
I believe DuPont called Miss Adams and made an appointment to meet her at Adams Plaza. It was here that he intended to offer proof that she made a contract with him and insisted that she honor it.
I made no such appointment.
DuPont was then killed and his body was dumped in the fountain.
I may have a reputation for being a tough negotiator, Inspector, but this is the limit. Really. Do you believe that I lured Pierre DuPont to my office, stabbed him in the back, and then drug him down here and threw him in the fountain?
No, I think nothing of the sort. In fact, I don't believe the meeting took place in your apartment at all, Miss Adams.
It took place in Ron's apartment.
That's right. Just enough of your personal belongings removed from your apartment, Miss Adams, to your nephew's apartment to convince DuPont that he was in your apartment. He may have never been in your apartment before, but he no doubt read the profile in the last month's Empire magazine. He knew about your taste in furniture, Mexican murals, and not to mention your parakeets.
But why would she have the meeting in Ronald's apartment?
She wouldn't. But someone who wanted to lure DuPont on the pretext of meeting Gertrude Adams would want to meet Mr. Adams' apartment rather than hers.
Why there?
Because they intended on murdering DuPont here and making it look like he was murdered on the street and then dumped into the fountain.
They killed him in Ron's apartment and threw his body out the window into the fountain.
But who could have moved all that furniture, knocked me out, and then had the strength to throw DuPont's body out of the window?
I would say someone who was capable of moving that concrete statue by the fountain that both you and I couldn't even budge. Someone who knew Gertrude Adams' signature well enough to convincingly forge it on this contract.
Okay, hold it right there. Nobody move.
Tom, put down the gun.
What's the meaning of all this?
Put it down, Lacey. Nice work, O'Neill. You saved my life.
Lacey's dead.
Why did he do it?
I don't know. Another loose end. And I hate loose ends.
Well, Ronald, old boy, you're a lucky man. Great wedding reception.
Thanks, Jimmy. But I just can't get over losing an old friend.
You can't dwell on that, Ron. Your whole life is ahead of you. You have to forget about Tom.
There's just a few things I can't figure out. Why did Lacey kill DuPont? And what was he planning on setting me up for the murder?
Forget it, pal. It's a mystery that'll never be solved.
You know, I have a friend that thinks Tom had an accomplice.
Sounds far-fetched to me.
Someone who was supposed to keep me away from the apartment until the deed was done. He thinks the actual plan was for nobody to know that the murder took place in the apartment at all. My friend seems to think that my uncharacteristic decision to leave the bachelor party early forced someone to make a desperate attempt to keep me there. Perhaps by slipping a Mickey into my drink and then putting me in a cab to a hotel on the other side of town.
You don't think.
Why'd you do it, Jimmy? You were my best friend.
Ron, I swear I didn't know anything about a murder. I thought Lacey was planning on making a deal with DuPont. When Tom realized the old lady wasn't going to take DuPont up on his business proposition, he decided to take advantage of it himself.
You guys would take advantage of my aunt?
It was worth almost $1 million, Ron. Tom was the one who dealt with DuPont, and then he forged your aunt's signature on the contract. But DuPont figured out the whole deal was based on a forgery and was on his way to tell your aunt all about it. That's when he called me to keep you there. He said he'd cut me in, 50-50.
But rearranging my apartment? Why so elaborate?
Tom found out DuPont was headed to your aunt's apartment to reveal the truth to her. He made those changes to your apartment so DuPont would think he was in your aunt's apartment. And he lured him into your apartment by turning number 6 of your room upside down to look like a 9. 309. Your aunt's room number. When DuPont got off the elevator, he thought he was going to the old gal's apartment. Once DuPont was unconscious, Tom turned the 9 back to a 6. That's when he must have heard you coming.
For someone who didn't know it's supposed to be a murder, you sure have a grasp of the details.
Rob, there's no reason for anyone to know I was involved. I didn't get any money from the plan anyway, so what difference does it make? You'd do that for your old friend, wouldn't you?
Sorry, Jimmy, but that friend of mine, he's behind the curtain here, and he's been listening the whole time. He had you figured for the loose end. And I gotta tell you, Jimmy,
I hate loose ends. Jimmy Sawyers, you're under the arrest as an accomplice in the death of Pierre DuPont.
You have just been listening to Radio Suspense Theater's rendition of The Parakeets Vanish, starring Morty Sparks, Jane Blaine, Fifi Latour, and featuring the Radio Suspense Theater Ensemble. Join us again next week for another spine-tingling mystery guaranteed to keep you in suspense. Ladies and gentlemen, before we go, we'd like to leave you with this little number by our own Lana Lane.
Little bitty wings, puffy rosy cheeks, potent arrow drawn, been like that for weeks. I can't help but hope it ain't so handsome, pretty. You're the only boy who was made for me. It can bring me joy just to have your knee. Is a hungry heart enough to pay the fee? Clever banter was never my forte. What can I say? Try as I may, I'm Cupid's girl all the way. Sense is magic, mine you never would be. Dead to my plea, no ecstasy, I'm Cupid's girl. Can't you see?
That was our own Lana Lane singing the smash hit Cupid's Girl. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the WSCC Radio Network ends its broadcasting day. We hope we have brought you the kind of enriching entertainment that makes this country great, particularly in this, our hour of victory. This is your announcer, Richard Dunlap, signing off.
And we're off air. Are you okay, boss?
Where am I?
You're at the studio. Don't worry, you did a wonderful job.
A job? I have a job?
You did splendidly, if I may say so myself, ma'am. What's wrong?
I want my mommy.
Wonderful.
Mommy, don't let these bad people hurt me.
Mommy, how? Make me play the maid in a deodorant commercial.
You're not my mommy. You're not my mommy!
Wrong delivery, not yours. Sorry. Oh, Miss Latour! Miss Latour!
Have you heard anything about Bo yet? Everything will be all right. You'll see.
Listen, Janie, you need to know about what's been happening.
Why do I need to know anything? I'm a big girl. We went on one date. That doesn't mean anything, does it?
Jeez, Jane, don't put me on the spot like that.
They come back through here again.
No.
God, I love this job.
He's after me. He's after me. Save me, you big handsome boy.
All yours, Shuri.
Hey Betty, going to the Knickerbocker. You can join me in case you need someone to talk to.
No thanks, buddy, but I'd rather be alone, you know?
At least it never gets boring around here. No, sir, never a dull moment at old WSCC.
They've got the boss subdued.
Is she okay?
Yes. They had to lock her in the women's locker room, but she's gonna be okay. This came in free. For you. Don't worry. It's good news. It came from Beau himself. And your letter was delivered to the right person.
What does it say?
He's okay. His plane was shot down over in France, but he was saved by the French resistance. He's okay. He's gonna be okay.
Boy, that's great news.
Ready for that drink now?
Yeah.
That's great news, huh?
The best.
Look, Jane,
Morty, where's my pencil?